Going up against Brady's Patriots. With kickoff straight ahead, let's check in with the two men who will be calling tonight's game. So we say hello to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, thanks. CA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Mass. Tonight, we kick off Week 3 with a great Thursday night matchup between the Houston Texans and the New England Patriots. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. They'll throw on first down with Osweiler. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. First down coming there on the intermediate passing play. That's been a point of emphasis, they told us in practice, using those medium routes to keep the defense off balance.
And it wasn't just them telling us. We got to watch them practice it and work on it because they've been trying to fine-tune it and get it right before this game. And I think they have to be happy with the result.
Now Osweiler on first down. Looking sideline, incomplete. He was looking to get it to his running back, Lamar Miller. And it'll be 2nd and 10. And how about this wide receiving core, Charles?
Well, I was at the hotel watching a little film, and you popped your head in and said, these receivers are pretty good from what I can tell. You're exactly right. Can't wait to see them do their thing out on the field.
Now a first carry for Lamar Miller. And he takes it across midfield to the 45. 9 yards on the pickup there as he'll be left with 3rd and 1. So the pickup there for Lamar Miller, and he actually shredded his current team last year when he played against them. 175 yards, another 61 in the air, and 2 touchdowns.
I guess that's a classic example of if you can't stop him, go get him, put him on your team. Lamar Miller, big-time pickup for the Texans.
Give him a yard on the play, and he's definitely short. It'll be 4th down and a few inches. It appears they'll go for it here on 4th down. A big call on the game's opening drive. They'll run. It's Miller. Lamar Miller stops short of the sticks. And this crowd loves it as their guys hold on the opening drive. Well, trying to be bold on the opening drive of the game, but that effort, it proves futile.
How many times have we talked with coaches where they've talked about taking the emotion out of their decision-making? I think that opening drive, if he didn't have it in his head to go for it before, I think that keyed into it. They were doing so well, and he decided to really establish something there. They didn't get it. Now they've got to make sure that they don't lose their focus.
The drive starts with a handoff to Blunt. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. This is the offense we're going to see coming up in this one, and LeGarrette Blunt, the featured back.
The big knock on him coming out of college was his lack of speed, but it's definitely not his lack of power. He runs right through opposing tacklers and sets things up big for his offense.
And he's brought down. A good pickup there of 20 yards. And I put my first tally mark next to the Brady to Gronk counter here.
I think it may be the first of many because once they get going, look out. Things tend to snowball. Tom Brady trusts Gronk as much as any receiver I think he's thrown to in his career. And it's evident
and
when you see that.
Saying something.
That's saying something right there. But he's earned it. Really tough drive, but that run help salvage something there because now there's something positive that came out of it. They got to see good blocking, good push by the offensive line, wide receivers trying to get involved, a good run by the back, and now maybe it'll be a catalyst for them to look at going forward, watching it on tape, maybe they can keep incorporating that type of a run into their offense.
Smart approach there, using the run to pick up the first. That was a defensive setup they prepared for this week, knowing that keeping it on the ground was the best way to attack it.
And that means also that they're able to read them pretty well. All the things they prepared for, when they get to the line of scrimmage, they see it in pre-snap recognition and know exactly how to attack based on their planning and preparation.
To the right side, and he's got Edelman. It's a 4-yard pickup, and it'll make it second down. The defensive crew for the Texans. Here's a look.
Vince Wilfork is a terrific player. The first thing you notice, obviously, is his size. But his agility will surprise you. He can play defensive end as well as hold down the middle as a defensive tackle.
Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground.
20, 20,
on second down, here's Brady. Looking for Amendola, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Brian Cushing. And not much on the return there. He'll take it only up to the 9-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on 4, turned it over in their own territory. But the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the #1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was planned going into it, not necessarily to not get the first down or to have the defense have to hold up.
But he trusted his defense.
Trusted his defense very much, and I think that that's how he's going to play this game. Go for it, be aggressive, because I've got the wild bunch backing me up over here on my own sideline.
We'll see what his offense can do. Caught left side, Hopkins. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
Here's Osweiler to throw, and this is Michael Floyd, complete. And he's brought down after a good gain. 23 yards on the play. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
Miller, the lone setback. Now it's Osweiler, and they can't get the long connection as it falls incomplete. And they'll be in search of 11 yards here on third down. They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. And he goes in motion here in the backfield. On third down, Osweiler. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. They were trying to get it there to Michael Floyd. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. So on 4th down, here's Brandon Fields to kick this one away. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. And now out come the Patriots. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told us, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
Offense still needing 10 yards. Second down.
Easy. Play 20. Play 20.
They fake the handoff. Now Brady. He's got time. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Whitney Merciless in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. Play action. Now it's Brady. Finding time. And he will find his man. That's Hogan complete. They were ready for what the defense was showing. They had prepared for that look, recognized it, went straight to the air, got the first. Well done.
Love the recognition because you can prepare for everything. You can watch the tape and put together your game plan, but you still have to understand what they're doing in terms of what they're showing and be able to adjust accordingly, and they did exactly that.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2, and that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Sets up the screen to Lewis. Now that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Patriots in possession to begin quarter number 2. They've got it 3rd and 10 here to start things out. Throwing is Brady on 3rd down. And he'll have his man. That's Edelman. And he's brought down after a good gain. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23.
I've got to make sure that I don't take Tom Brady's greatness for granted, that we make it routine. How about that throw right there?
Yeah.
Another great completion.
And you know one area where he honed his throwing, he was a catcher in high school. He was actually drafted by the Expos in 1995 in the 18th round.
Wow, that would have been something to see him behind the dish.
Think he gunned down a few guys?
Gunned down a few guys trying to steal second. That would have been fun to watch.
Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good 1st down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on 1st down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. On 2nd down, here's Brady. Rifles one incomplete. Unable to get it to Gronkowski that time. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move them all over the place to try and find good matchups. And they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
20!
From the gun on 3rd down, Brady. The throw left side complete to Hogan. And he's brought down after a good game. And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that. And that's what he did.
And a really long drive here, and it goes on and on. They'll need to get the play off quickly. Throwing now is Brady. That's caught at the 3. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a 1st and goal.
A really nice read by the offense. They caught the defense not covering the middle of the field, went to the post route, and found the receiver wide open for a nice gain.
Shift together here from the D-line. 1st down and goal. The offense knocking on the door. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
Well, he did get a taste the previous week. He got into the end zone trying his best to get there in this game. So far, he's been denied.
Long drive. The defense just cannot seem to catch a break and get off the field. Brady's going to sneak it. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. And after getting tackled, he's still down and looking very slow to get up. We'll get a report when we return to Foxborough. The offense is going to stay out there. We'll see what the play call is. They need to find the right one here on 4th and goal. And now a first chance for and this is caught. Touchdown, Patriots. Danny Amendola, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Patriots have taken the lead. Big 4th down conversion for the score, and the defense, that is a tough pill to swallow.
Big time for them. How about them just deciding to go for it on 4th down? And, okay, forget the field goal, because that looked like an easy 3 points. Yeah, you might have had a defensive breakdown in there, but they pressed the issue and found a way to get it into the end zone. Give them big credit for that.
Gostkowski now after the touchdown. He'll send this one away. And this will be a touchback. Last year would have come out to the 20. This year they'll move it out to the 25-yard line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting...
And I think the ball's out, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
Now I have to admit, partner, that I've often thought that I don't like this rule, where the offensive player fumbles the ball, it goes out of bounds, and they get to keep it.
That's just because you're a defensive guy. That's why you don't like it.
Yeah, you're right. It is a slanted view, isn't it?
But this is where, for the offensive team, the sideline is their friend. Usually it's not their friend.
Yeah, exactly right. I actually played for a guy in college. You know what he used to name the sideline? Sammy. Sammy sideline, and use him well.
They go play action with Osweiler. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jabal Sheard. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. Third and long. It's Osweiler. And this is going to be incomplete. C.J. Fedorowicz, the intended receiver. And it'll be 4th down.
But no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
So possession goes over here on the punt, and the Patriots take over. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
A little bit of ground to make up for the offense as they face a 2nd and 11. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Rolling to his right. It's caught outright, Amendola. A nice gain of 21 yards.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
Now a carry for the shifty Dion Lewis. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. Dion Lewis, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Patriots add on to their lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run. And one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And now out comes Houston. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
A huge play there for Houston. And even 40 yards.
Coaches really don't care from what position they get this, but run after the catch ability, rack ability, is often the difference between winning and losing and changing field position.
Now a play fake here on first down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. They'll put two receivers left, two to the right. On second down, here's Osweiler. And this one complete to Will Fuller. And he's brought down after a good gain. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Now let's go. No, Jack Patrick. Leopard.
On first and 10, it's Osweiler. Completion left side to Miller. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Braxton Miller, his first NFL reception, goes for 6. And the Texans draw a bit closer. Extra point attempt to follow here. And that'll make it 13-7. So here comes the kickoff, and what now is just a one-score, 6-point game. Now Jones. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. So the Patriots coming out now. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Here we go now. Gun.
Garoppolo. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking for Julian Edelman that time. And that'll make it 2nd and 10. So 2nd and 10 here.
Gun. Here we go now.
Garoppolo now. He rifles one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they will score a pick 6 for the Texans TD. Well, we know this defense has athleticism. Spots like that prove us right.
I love the way that you spotlighted the athleticism because you and I both know the best athletes on the field, they play on defense.
Oh, I don't know. I was a kicker. You got to remember that now.
Come on.
Fine. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This one fielded at the 5. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The Patriots offense now. They work their way back onto the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
After the pick six, they go right back to the air. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked, but instead they'll keep it on second down. So incomplete on first. Let's see what second down has in store.
The name of the game is always on defense, put pressure on the quarterback. And that's exactly what they've done today. It looks like they've got him a little bit wrapped.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kareem Jackson. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. And the Texans set to come onto the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
He's going to go for a big play downfield. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
And they extend their lead, a little added cushion into the lockers. What a way to finish.
Tremendous way. That's momentum that they carry in with them. Can they convert it and bring it back out to start the third quarter?
So we have reached halftime here. It's the visitors, the Texans, out in front. As we'll send you down the coast to Orlando, where we check in with our friend Larry Ridley and the EA Sports Halftime Report. Larry? Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And the Patriots gearing up to go now. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Here we go now.
Now back to throw. Over the middle, that's caught by Hogan. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. Off the toss, Lewis. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
You have to give big-time credit to the cornerback on that play. Most of them like to just sit back and say, I'm playing pass. But he diagnosed that play so fast and got into the backfield for a loss of yardage. That's a monster play by a corner.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Over the middle, it's Amendola. And he's brought down. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you go lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
No gain on the play there. It'll be 2nd down. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. Sets up the screen to Lewis. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Only a yard on the pickup, so from a good situation on 2nd and 2, it's now 3rd and 1.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
And caught by Hogan for a Patriot touchdown. Chris Hogan with his first touchdown in a Patriot uniform. And the Patriots move back within a couple of the lead. And they will line up now for the 2-point try. Garoppolo looking to throw for it. Goes right side. And he's got it. So they went ahead and went for 2 to tie the game, and it works out. So we're right back where we started. All even as the kick's away. This one fielded at the 5. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. So here's the Texans offense now. They get set to start this 3rd quarter. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You're probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you. Whenever we meet with coaches and they always talk about wanting to establish running the football, it's oftentimes with a good tight end who can control the line of scrimmage and the point of attack, and they're becoming harder to find because the colleges are giving us a whole lot of receiving tight ends, former wide receivers who can run, not necessarily block very well. In this case, though, we saw 2 tight ends on the field, both of them with the ability to block, and he ran the ball successfully behind that power set.
On 2nd down, here's Osweiler. Underneath for Miller. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. Call it a gain of 5. And that'll lead here to a 3rd down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback.
Will Fuller, nobody there to stop him. And he does take it in for the touchdown, but a flag on the field, and I don't think this is going to stand.
Yeah, don't put the points on the board just yet.
1st down and 10 now for the offensive group. Throwing now, Osweiler on 1st down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Second and 10, it's Osweiler again. Looking for Floyd, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Charles Tillman. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Patriot offense now set to come back out onto the field. And that last drive, so effective in the passing game, resulting in the touchdown. Maybe not many people were focused on the trenches. There was good protection there.
Excellent protection. So now, defensively, you've almost got to get down to those starters blocks like you're a sprinter. Get lower than those guys on offense and find a way to roar through them or around them to get into the face of the passer.
Easier said than done, though.
Way easier said than done. But they've got to try something, because right now, they're just cutting them to shreds.
Again, here's Blunt. And he's brought down. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
That's another nice run, and I have to tell you, some of the coaches that I played for, their philosophies were always different when they see a guy running the ball well. Some of them wanted to immediately go to play action and throw it now because it's wide open. While other coaches said, you know something? Until they stop him, that big boy's going to keep getting the football. And that might be the direction that they're going to go right now.
And he's brought down. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs. And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground.
And the tackle's made there by one of the secondary members. And I can guarantee you, having played that spot in the huddle right now or on the field, they're urging for a little bit more support from the guys up front. I actually remember one game where I hopped over a defensive lineman to make a tackle downfield and realized he was 10 yards downfield. That's not good. That's being driven off the line of scrimmage, and you can't have that if you're going to win a game on defense.
Now Lewis. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go. 3rd and 4. Garoppolo now. And he'll have his man. That's Edelman. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22. Back now in Foxborough. All even as we get ready to start the 4th. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. Blunt, the lone running back. And he'll get it up the middle. Muscles him off. And he's going to get this one down inside the 15. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. And now the offense operates in the red zone.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Call it a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. It'll be 3rd and about a foot or 2.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Now Blunt, and he is going to lose yardage here. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. So 3rd and inches, trying to pick it up the middle. He had nowhere to go, tackled for a loss.
And you know how we talk about double A-gap pressure, meaning linebackers going in the gap between the center and the guard on either side? Well, it's not always to get to the passer. Sometimes you do that to prevent a running play. Worked pretty well in that situation.
Gostkowski now converted for 3. Now he'll kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
On 2nd down, here's Miller. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it 3rd down at 6.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
All right, now look at 56. Back down in that Philly. Here we go. Watch it now, Barney.
On 3rd down, Osweiler. And there's nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And I know it's hard in live action, but you've got to keep your hands away from the face. That's a 15-yard penalty.
You work on it all the time, making sure your target area is lower and trying to keep your hands away from the face mask so you don't get the big penalty.
Here we go now.
On 1st down, Osweiler setting up the screen for Miller. And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on first down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
He's got his man on the crossing route. And he is out of bounds inside the 30.
I know we just saw a nice throwing catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
They'll put two receivers left, two to the right. They'll throw on first down with Osweiler. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, that plays a statistic that's going to go on the defensive team stat sheet. Won't necessarily reflect in ours, right, the overall game sheet. But you and I know that they keep count on pressures, hits on quarterbacks, all those things, hoping to increase that throughout the game. And here we are in the fourth quarter, and they got a big one.
Yeah, it's such a close game, a very big one. Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7.
An extra corner on the field for New England here on 3rd down.
Yeah, another DB. Again, Osweiler. Dumps it complete to Miller. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Super Bowl 49 hero Malcolm Butler. And to the 12, that's where it stops. The return is halted at the 12-yard line. Now the Patriots offense, they work their way back out onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're not.
LeGarrette Blount, 20, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, New England. LeGarrette Blount, 88 yards. And the Patriots add 6 to their lead. And those are the highlight reel runs you dream of right there.
When he gets a seam and just gets through it, how about the explosiveness, the burst to get there to begin with, and then once he's in full gallop, good luck trying to track him down.
And those plays so demoralizing for the defense. Absolutely,
because you've done so much work trying to keep people in front of you. When they're past you and behind you, that's a tough one to swallow.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we've got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? Underneath for Miller. Give him 3 on the play, and it's a 2nd down. Short play like that in this situation this late, that's a win for the defense.
No doubt. And I remember something Coach Madden used to talk about all the time. Sometimes you can't just take what the defense gives you. You have to take what you need. And in this case, the offense is taking what the defense is giving them, not what they need.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Caught left side, Hopkins. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
And this will probably be the last play they can squeeze in here before the 2-minute warning.
Defense always has to be careful in this situation. A lot of teams like to take a shot.
Osweiler, it's complete to Fuller. Penalty marker is down here. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. So that last play called back after the penalty, 2nd and long here.
All right, now look at 56. Let's go. 56. Detroit. Leopard. Watch it now, Barney.
Here's Osweiler. Completes it over the middle to Floyd. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
Now it's Osweiler. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down.
All right, now look at 56. Lucky 56. No. Check.
Osweiler to throw. He's going to let it fly. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing, and on that one, they have to fly.
Now we're going to get a timeout here called by the Patriots. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out.
Green 39. Detroit.
Halfback sent in motion.
Detroit.
Here we go. It's Osweiler on 4th down. It's brought in by Floyd. Give him 25 yards on the play there. And on 4th and long, somehow they're able to keep the drive going. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. Throwing now is Osweiler. And he takes this one into the end zone, and all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter.
And there's the touchdown that they needed, so they'll celebrate. But the guys on the sidelines, they've got to stay focused. The onside kick team, they need them to get the ball back.
Yeah, part 1 of the equation done. Now they need to convert and get that onside kick. So a little under 50 seconds to go. Plenty of time if they can get this onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So the offense looking at a 2nd and 8. They'll run again with Blunt. And now the Texans want to call another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
And Charles, when you pull out a close game, the good thing about that is maybe next time you're in a nail-biter in the fourth quarter, you have a little more confidence.
Yeah, you're talking about your memory muscles, right? When you win those close ones, you have that confident feeling that you can continue to do so every time you're in that position.
Now, that said, you would rather win by 60 points, or do you like the close ones too?
Well, I think everyone would rather win by 60. It's comfortable. Everyone gets to play. But when you win those nail-biters, dinner tastes just a little bit better that night.
So for the Patriots, they're into the win column now as they move to 1-2 on the young season. And now they'll get the weekend off as they get a little extra time to prepare to face the Buffalo Bills. Meanwhile, for the Texans, they will fall to a similar mark at 1-2. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Tennessee Titans. So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Patriots winners here at home as we say so long from Foxborough.